Seeing as this is going to be a wrestling-orientated podcast, I think I would plug a few of my favourite wrestling podcasts. The first one being OSW Reviews, probably my favourite. It's the Old School Wrestling Review. They do video and audio podcasts. They're available on iTunes, oswreview.com, and also piledriverwrestlingpodcast.com. There's the Stone Cold Podcast, which is every Tuesday on Podcast One as well as iTunes. Stone Cold Unleashed Podcast on Thursday, iTunes. The Invasion Podcast, which is also a part of the OSW umbrella. I think that's on piledriverwrestling.com, I believe. Also on iTunes. And Talk is Jericho, every Wednesday and Thursday on Podcast One. So check that out. Yo, 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 yo! I'll keep this short and sweet, as this is the longest podcast I've done so far. Welcome to the show, by the way. This is a review of the Battleground pay-per-view that was the other month, WWE, which is a review by me and my friend Aaron. We also review a couple of Raws and our feelings on some of the matches that went down, so give it a listen. Alright, so hopefully this sounds alright. Right, okay, so let's see. How far do you want to go back? Because you told me to watch Raw 2 or 3 shows ago. I mean, I haven't watched it.
Yeah. Back to when Cena first faced Cesaro.
Right, okay, let's have a look. Right, yeah, okay. Okay, so Raw...
Probably about 3 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, I've got the results. Raw, July the 6th. What I've got is Big Show versus Ryback, no contest. Brie versus...
Yeah.
Not worth talking about?
No.
See, I didn't watch... I watched... this week's Raw and the Raw before Battleground, so I haven't seen this one.
Yeah.
So there's Brie versus Paige. Brie wins. Well, there's not much to talk about there.
To be honest, in that one, the only match that's probably worth mentioning is the Cena Cesaro one.
Right. Cool. But there's one thing.
And then the next 2 weeks is when obviously all the women happened and everything, you know.
Yeah. Well, the thing that's to mention about this one is it's like Bo Dallas versus Dean Ambrose. I think I mentioned this to you a little while ago. I was like, what the fuck are they doing with Dean Ambrose? Literally nothing. I mean, they are now. They're chucking him in with Roman and Bray. But at this point, in between his ladder match with Rollins, they did nothing with him, did they?
No, that's right.
No match at Battleground or anything. But anyway, something to bring up as well. Because I didn't watch all these shows, but every show it was Truth versus Barrett, and it's like, fucking hell.
I know, yeah.
How many matches do they want?
And then they did it again at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Okay, so Rusev beat the shit out of Ziggler to take him off of TV. Apparently he's doing some filming for a film or something, so that's why he's been off the telly. Lesnar beats the shit out of J&J and their car. I saw a clip the week before. I saw the clip of where Rollins gave them the car and Kane the holiday to Hawaii. I thought that was quite cool. And then obviously Lesnar beating the shit out of them and nearly killing someone in the crowd because he threw the fucking car door.
Yeah, with the door, that was funny, yeah.
Well, okay, so Cena Cesaro. So that was an open challenge, I take it?
I think so.
Yeah, you know, his US title thing. So
if I remember that week, Kevin Owens came out and Cesaro came out, and it ended up Cesaro told Kevin Owens to piss off, essentially.
Right.
And kind of looked him up and down, which leads me to think that they might do something between Cesaro and Kevin Owens, maybe, you know, just a little...
Well, potentially. I think it'd be a good match if they did.
Yeah.
I think it'd be an amazing match.
Because they're not going to give him another Cena match. That's Owens, that is.
Yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, I think you're right.
Then... you know, they've had, 3 now?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. I mean, what I thought would have been good would have been Owens win and then a rematch at SummerSlam in like some sort of cage match or something, you know?
I don't know. I just don't know what they're trying to do with. I know that they're keeping Nikki as Divas champion so that she can overtake AJ as the longest Divas champion. But
just to fuck off
Cena, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're like kind of keeping that with him. You know?
Yeah. I think they're trying to make it seem like because the title means something. Because before the other 2 titles didn't mean shit, you know. But I suppose
I know, but he's had it for ages. So to give it to somebody else would be, to give it to Owens or even Cesaro would be so much better.
Yeah, definitely. Now that Cesaro's a good guy and everyone loves him. I mean, I've always loved him, but I mean, the fact that, when they're good guys, that he's pulling off all these new moves that he never used to do as well, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wish, well, the thing is, I want Tyson Kidd to come back as well, but at the same time, I don't want him to be with Cesaro.
Yeah, I know.
Cesaro's still walking around wearing the Tyson Cesaro shirt.
Yeah,
so you think, I wonder whether they're just going to phase that out,
Well, I think... Go on.
I hope that they do, but the thing is, I like Kidd, so I'd like them to build him up as well. I actually think he's really good when you watch him.
See, what one of the commentators said was Cesaro wearing the Tyson Kidd armband because he's mates in hospital or something. Because he's mate. I think it might have been like a symbolisation to say, sorry, you got a fuck neck. Still thinking about you, all that sort of thing. You never know. But, right, so we'll move on to SmackDown. Did you watch the SmackDown after that? I'll remind you of the matches.
Yeah, I've watched them all, but I can't remember that far back.
See, I didn't watch this. It was Dean Ambrose versus Bo Dallas again. What's the point?
Yeah, I don't think I watched that. I think I pretty much skipped that, yeah.
Rusev Fandango. Rusev won. Whatever.
Yeah, I always skip to the end of those matches and just watch the end,
Yeah, Roman Reigns, Big Show, Reigns wins. Titus O'Neil versus Big E, Titus O'Neil wins. I've really liked I've really liked New Day because they're like they're arseholes that don't think they're arseholes. They're bad guys that seem to think they're not. I like that sort of thing.
I'm just bored of them, to be honest.
Did you see the match at the pay-per-view, the tag match?
I watched a bit of it, yeah.
Oh no, it was a solid match. It really was. I mean, because Kofi in that, he always has a good match. Kofi in that,
I just like all three of them separately. Again, the problem is they're not going to put all these people separate because they can't do anything with them.
Exactly. I like Big E's new thing where he's sounding like a preacher. He's putting that voice on, isn't he?
I don't like that at all.
Oh, you don't, no?
I think it's so stereotypical and so, They sack Hulk Hogan for racism and then they put that on him. They put that on Big E.
Hold on, he's not being racist though. He's been stereotypical.
No, as in the WWE are giving him like stereotypical black.
Right.
They give all these characters these stupid kind of stereotypical characters and that, like bloody church-going preacher and all this, and you just think there's no reason to give somebody like Big E that because he's good anyway, He's good, but he's literally done nothing before this New Day gimmick, Well, they had him with Rusev at one point, and then they had him pushing for the Intercontinental Championship and all this kind of stuff, and he just needed a bit of mic time, really, and I don't think they gave it to him.
Yeah.
No, I don't like this whole the whole kind of stereotypical New Day thing,
Yeah, fair enough. After that was Brie Bella and Alicia. Well, I've been noticing that Nikki hasn't been fighting. Maybe she's slightly injured and they're trying to not use her at the moment. Brie Bella and Alicia Fox versus Naomi and Tamina. Brie Bella and Fox won. Whatever.
I always watch the Divas matches because they're better than the men's at the moment.
Well, I would say so in regards to these new divas, but a Brie Bella match versus a fucking Tamina match, not that interested.
No, not Tamina, but Naomi is very good.
Yeah, well, I mean, when Paige is usually involved, I watch it. Right, next, then the last match was Ryback, Seth Rollins, Ryback won. I don't imagine much happened there, did it?
I didn't watch it again.
No.
They just bore me.
Yeah.
Ryback especially bores me. I only watch the end, he's just... It's the same shit over and over again. They have a go at Cena for being, 4 moves, but I just can't watch Ryback. He really bores me. When he's on the mic and he was going on about his personality and all that, I thought that was quite interesting. But no, he's moved. I don't know. He's boring. He's slow. People like the Big Show. I just can't watch him. It's painful to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. It is boring. Right, now to the Raw before Battleground. I didn't watch all of it. I watched what I wanted to watch. And in this Raw, from my opinion, the match of the year definitely. I enjoyed this match so much. Right, so we'll start off. Randy Orton, Ryback versus Sheamus and Big Show. Give a shit. I didn't bother watching it. Ryback and Orton won. Then there was Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt, which never happened because Roman Reigns interfered. Then there was a Divas match. Oh no, all the Divas turned up, so that was pretty cool with Stephanie McMahon and all that.
Yeah, that was the best bit.
I know you loved that. And then Primetime Players and Mark Henry versus The New Day. I think Primetime Players and Henry won that.
Yeah, boring. Yeah.
Once again, Truth versus Barrett, and Truth wins again. Then,
boring. Yeah.
for me, the best match I've seen in such a long time. Cesaro versus Owens versus Rusev. I thought that match was amazing.
Yeah.
It must have gone a half hour, 40 minutes. And what I loved about it as well, I personally thought the right man won because, I mean, everyone would have wanted, for instance, Cesaro to win. But what they did after the match, when Cena faced Rusev looked like a bit of shit because he just had a really tough match. They couldn't have had good guy Cesaro being tired, you know?
No.
So I think they did right because, I mean, the win, Rusev just gave him, in the end, he just gave him like a kick and he won. So I was a bit like, oh man. But then I thought, well, you know what, actually, they needed Rusev to win. They couldn't have had Owens win and lose to Cena because he had the match at the pay-per-view. But that was such a good match. I mean, that could have been on a pay-per-view easily.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. And they keep putting things like that on Raw and they're going to keep getting people in, like...
Yeah.
They keep putting shit like bloody Blandy Orton and Ryback, and they're just so boring.
Yeah.
I don't know how they don't see it, you know, like the audience reaction, you know, like
it's probably t-shirt sales, isn't it? They probably sell quite a few t-shirts and think, oh well, we'll put him out. You know, probably a load of Randy Orton t-shirts.
I just don't understand how so many people cheer Randy Orton like that, because I just think he comes out and I just think,
yeah, boring.
Here we go. Same with Roman Reigns, you know.
What I thought was good about Cena was I thought it'd be really good because Cena was boasting about how he's going to be fresh and 100% facing one of these guys. I thought they could add that to his character because obviously Cena's getting stale. It'd be good if before every one of Cena's title defences he made a number one contenders match, so there would be shagged and he'd get to fight someone who's, you know, knackered. Because just think, right, and we'll get to Battleground, but Battleground, Cena literally did his finisher, and then he did a super finisher off the top rope, and he kicked out again. It's like that is getting ridiculous because, like, how are you literally gonna beat a person without like getting a gun and shooting them? You know, if your finisher doesn't work, and then your super duper finisher that you do, you know, because. And that they kick out of that as well. It's just like, well, what's the fucking point? You might as well give up.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, Cena Rusev, because Rusev won overall. I think Owens come down and broke it up. Neville Stardust. So Stardust has returned. I think they're doing
a random combination that they've done between them two.
Well, I think they're going for, from what I could tell, a kind of a superhero supervillain thing.
Because yeah, they are. Yeah, like, the way that they did. I don't know whether you saw it, but the way that they did all the animation and everything, it was like a comic book.
Oh no, I didn't see any of that. I think I must have skipped it.
Have a look. It was really, really good the way they did that.
Oh really?
They've portrayed both of them. Yeah, like exactly what you said. It's been like superhero, supervillain sort of thing, and they did the whole pre-match build-up as like a comic book strip. It was really good.
Oh
really
right,
good.
Fair enough. Well, because all I saw was this promo of Stardust, and he was blue and silver, and I skipped it, and then I think I skipped the match. But was it a good match?
Yeah, no, I skipped most of the match. I only watched the end really.
Right.
I don't know. I thought after Dusty died that they were going to bring Cody back as Cody.
But then again, like Cody was going nowhere. You know, I feel the same like with Kofi going nowhere, Xavier Woods going nowhere. I mean, Wade Barrett was going nowhere, but they've given this King gimmick, so he's got something. You know, like Stardust.
I don't know why they didn't carry on with the bad Nude thing. That was working quite well.
It was, yeah. No, what I read on the internet was they dropped it because he's supposed to be a bad guy, and everyone was speaking along with it when that's really what they want for a good guy, you know?
Yeah, but that's always what happens now in the WWE.
No.
All the bad guys get cheered, and then all the good guys get booed. You know, look at Roman. I mean,
oh yeah, exactly. I'd like him
never
to.
Gonna be
I'd like him to turn heel on Dean Ambrose. I think that'd be good.
So would I.
Because they've got fuck all to do for him, right? I mean, I'm sure they're going to try and make Roman a main event guy eventually, but
they're doing it slowly.
Yeah,
they're already doing it by putting him in with Bray Wyatt and people like that.
So if they're doing it slowly, give him a program where he turns on Dean Ambrose, because Dean Ambrose has got fuck all to do either. You know, that could be a good couple of pay-per-views. You know.
Yeah.
Just make up the time, you know, because there's nothing now. Like obviously, there's the Royal Rumble, there's WrestleMania, and there's Money in the Bank. They're kind of like the three big ones now because they all mean something. Survivor Series doesn't mean shit anymore. If you win Survivor Series, big deal. You know, there's nothing anymore. So they just need to fill up the gaps until like Royal Rumble.
That's right.
Okay, so SmackDown. I didn't watch this. Bray Wyatt. I pasted something off the internet. Bray Wyatt kicked off the show with a promo. Roman Reigns interrupted on the screen, not unlike Wyatt would do typically. He claimed that Wyatt ran Monday night, but won't have that option at Battleground. Whatever. The New Day defeated the Lucha Dragons. Primetime players on commentary. King Barrett defeated Jack Swagger. What the fuck happened to Jack Swagger? Eh? R-Truth cut a post-match promo. Go on, what are you about to say about Swagger?
I don't know what they're doing because, like, Zeb Coulter hasn't come back since he had that on-screen injury.
Yep.
And to be honest, I really think they're going to release Jack Swagger.
Probably.
Which is a shame because, you know, he was a world champion a couple of years ago.
Well, you know what they could do with certain people like that? People that are not doing anything. They did this back in the day. Jack Swagger could go down to Florida and be like an NXT trainer. Because he's a good wrestler. He's just not good on television, you know?
I don't think he'd be happy with that, though. I think he still thinks he could be up there.
Well, yeah, probably, but I mean, it's better than getting the sack, isn't it? Back in the day, like when Al Snow and people like and Hardcore Holly and all that, when they stopped doing shit with them, they made them tough enough judges, you know? They made them do that sort of shit. So there's probably always...
They're going to need one now.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The rumours is going to be Ric Flair, but...
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that like Fandango. What are they doing with him? Nothing. Zack Ryder.
Again, they're just going to get rid of him.
You know, they're
going to... Rose as well.
Yeah, they're just going to get rid of them all. I mean, nothing. But then again, right, I'm starting to worry about NXT in regards to when all the good NXT people come up. I mean, all of the good women at NXT have come up. So then now, there's all shit women at NXT, really, isn't there?
Well,
other than Bayley.
They've got a couple.
Yeah.
They've got Emma down there again. Emma's good.
Yeah. She's a bit of a cardboard cutout, though.
What do you mean?
She's... Well, they've tried to make her into a but when she was a good guy, she was a bit bland, and now she's a bad guy, she's still a bit bland, you know?
Yeah, she hasn't got the personality, but she's got the in-ring skill, though.
Yeah. I mean, they've got Bayley. I think...
You know who I absolutely hate?
Who?
Is that Dana Brooke. I think she's absolutely terrible.
Oh, she's the muscle woman with blonde hair, isn't she? There was some...
wrestling is shit, her mic is shit, they just... Where they've got her from? I mean, I know she was some model or something, some weightlifting model or whatever she was, but oh my god, she's absolutely abysmal. And in terms of her, I know it's terrible, but like her accent as well just grates on me completely. Her voice grates on me, you know.
See, they've got Bayley, and I think now that Sasha Banks has been kind of promoted, I think.
Oh yeah, she'll be the women's champion.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
the next pay-per-view, I think it's Bayley Sasha, and I'm pretty sure Bayley will win.
Guaranteed, exactly the same as Kevin Owens. I don't actually know why they have given Kevin Owens a rematch. I think I was saying to you, maybe it's just in case.
No, well, it's storyline, isn't it? every time you lose a title, you are guaranteed a rematch, aren't you? It's a rematch clause.
No, I know.
So they kind of have to.
A few times they haven't done that. A few times when people have been promoted and that, like if somebody's been the US champion or Intercontinental champion, and then they're in the frame for like the World Championship, then they won't have a rematch for the US title or the Intercontinental title.
Well, think about the NXT roster at the moment. Hideo Toshimi, whatever his fucking name is. Kenta. Hideo, that's it. He's injured. Sami Zayn, injured. Tyler Breeze and Finn Balor have had about 1 million matches. They ain't really... Yeah. So they're probably putting Kevin Owens back because they're thinking, well, we need to headline and pay-per-view. Let's put Kevin Owens in it. Because really, who's it going to be? I mean, they could... Oh, you wouldn't want to see Rhino. You wouldn't want to see Bull Dempsey, or you wouldn't want to see that other one, that fucking boring prick.
Baron Corbin.
He's so fucking boring.
I don't know what they're doing with him though, because they had him beat Rhino.
Yeah.
The two beasts of NXT, and they had Baron Corbin beat Rhino. I didn't understand that because they brought Rhino back to be this like force, and he's lost to everybody so far.
Yeah.
Absolutely everybody. He's lost to Baron Corbin, he's lost to Kevin Owens, he's lost to Finn Balor. You just think, are they doing it to make a point that kind of our talent are better than all this TNA talent? But then they bring
Samoa Joe
back in, Samoa Joe, who I couldn't give a shit about, to be honest with her.
I haven't really watched I haven't caught up on the NXT. There was a match between Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe, I believe. What happened with that? Because I haven't watched it.
I can't remember. I skipped most of it again. I'm not that interested in Samoa Joe really. Everyone's hyping him up and making him out to be this.
He's good. I've watched him in Ring of Honor, and he's a beast.
Yeah, I don't know.
But he's a big guy who's got lots of moves. Like he's a bit like, I don't suppose you remember Taz back in ECW. He was called the Suplex Machine. Samoa Joe's a bit like a Suplex Machine as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what they're doing with him. Like they bring Rhino back and they piss all over him, and then they bring Samoa Joe in from NXT, from TNA, and you just think like they're making him out to be some god.
Well, they're pretty low of talent at the moment, so I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if Samoa Joe's put in the title picture at some point.
He's guaranteed, and then he'll want to be pushed up to the main roster.
Literally, they've got no one. They've literally got no one at the moment. I mean, they've got loads of tag teams, loads of like middle ground people, but stars, they've got no one. Everyone's either injured or been promoted. Yeah. Because I mean, I'm sure they've brought Rhino back just to have good matches and potentially make other people look good. Because he's getting on now. He's bloody old Rhino. But they brought back Brian Kendrick for one match. That was quite a good match. Brian Kendrick versus Finn Balor. That was a pretty good match. Do you remember Brian Kendrick?
Yeah, I like Brian Kendrick.
He's a good wrestler.
He's now training Eva Marie.
Yeah, so I reckon they brought him back just because they thought he'll have a good match with Finn Balor. And they made it on TV and it was good.
She's another one. What the hell are they doing bringing her back in and trying to train her up and that? Absolutely dog shit.
I haven't seen any of her matches, have you?
She's just had her comeback match on NXT after training with Brian Kendrick for about 6 months, which has pissed all the other divas off in real life because she's getting this special training regimen and training with like Brian Kendrick, who is not even a WWE employee anymore, but they're the ones that put her with him, which is strange.
Well, he probably is now. He probably is something to do with NXT now. Like he's probably a trainer.
He's not officially though. That's the thing, because you can see the ones that are officially employed and all the rest of it, and he's not. He came back for that one match in NXT. I don't know whether you saw that.
Yeah.
Which was a decent match, but I just don't know what the hell they're doing. Like they're pissing off all the other divas in real life because Eva Marie is a bitch and she's one of these superficial people who knows absolutely nothing about the WWE.
Hey, have you seen any Tough Enough?
I've been watching it every week.
Yeah, me too. Me and Louise have been watching it. And like, I can't believe, other than the dude who's just got eliminated, Patrick, I can't believe that none of them know anything about wrestling.
I know.
I agree with Patrick.
The only other person who knew a little bit was that Daria, the MMA lesbian girl, and she got eliminated as well.
I agree with I agreed with Patrick when he was like, you need to know some shit, and they were like, who watched the Japanese show? And everyone was like, no one. And Patrick was like, yeah, I watched it, and it's like, no one knows shit, and it's like, how can you want to be a?
I know. They don't give a shit. The entire thing is for television.
I'm just looking on the WWE website, and Brian Kendrick is an official NXT roster.
Oh, is he listed now? Is he?
He's listed, yeah. Except for he's probably put.
I checked. He wasn't. That was a month or so ago.
They've probably gone right. We've got a big gap. Let's fuck Hulk Hogan off and put Brian Kendrick in. Bah.
Yeah.
I like Becky Lynch's new look. Have you seen the film Fifth Element?
Yeah, I know what she's going for there. Yeah.
Go on.
I think she's amazing. She's
really good. I think she probably did right because there's probably every fucking hair colour in WWE apart from orange. So it's about time, she probably did right to change her hair orange,
I still don't think they're going to push her though. They've brought her up, but I think they're just going to use her as a filler. I really do.
They need to fucking release some divas. Seriously. Or...
Well, the thing is, they're going to release your people that are not part of that clan. So they're going to release Cameron, they're going to release Layla after... She's the longest diva, actually,
Yeah. Well, no, what I think they could do is people like Cameron, they could probably push her back down to NXT because she's fucking shit, and you never know, it might make her better. Tyson Kidd went back to NXT and he come back and he was, obviously he was really good anyway, but he went down to NXT and it turned out to make him better,
Yeah, I still don't think Cameron. I just don't think people like Cameron should have anything to do with the WWE.
Oh no, not at all. Like what's her name? The Latino one. What's her name?
Tamina?
No, the one who's with... She had Latino, she's Samoan. The one who's...
Rosa.
That's Rosa. It, yeah, she's fucking shit and all. But,
yeah,
do you know why those girls are still employed? It's because they're fucking...
Well, simply because of their looks.
And they're on that Total Divas, and they're fucking idiots, and it probably makes good television because they're fucking idiots,
Yeah, that is it, yeah.
I don't know how much money they make. Anyway, let's get back to what... that's the SmackDown before Battleground. I didn't watch it, but I wish I had, because I've just seen that Cesaro defeated Rusev, and he's the second person to ever pin him. So that's good.
Yeah, that's right. That was great, that was. Yeah.
Right, so Cesaro, Rusev, yeah, I really like them too. I think Rusev is a really good bad guy, and I love it when he's in the ring, and he's kind of like... It looks like he's crying, but he's screaming. He's like going... because he's like going, what the fuck? What do I have to do to beat him? This sort of thing. I like that. I do like Rusev.
Yeah. No, I do like Rusev. I hope they don't ruin him.
And like he was, he cut that promo on Kevin Owens. He was like, "What are you, some sort of French American?" I thought that made me laugh.
Yeah.
That was quite good. Neville defeated Stardust, so Stardust beat him on Monday, and then Neville defeated him on Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do with that.
Well, I think that Arrow dude, I don't think that's going to happen, surely, because SummerSlam ain't that long away. Maybe they're going to...
Arrow dude?
There was a guy, the show Arrow?
Yeah.
He was in the crowd at one of the Raws, and Stardust, was in his face, and there's all speculation that there was going to be a match between him and Stardust at SummerSlam.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
But obviously then Dusty died, and it all kind of went downhill. And I assume now they're going to have Neville...
No, yes, I read they've cancelled that.
Right.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll have Neville Stardust, but they'll have it in some sort of I don't know, surely they won't just have a match, they'll have maybe a gimmick match, maybe, a fucking cage match or a ladder match or something, I don't know, fucking know, but...
Yeah, it'll be some sort of bloody superhero match or something, yeah.
Because they need to bring back more gimmick matches, because they have 10 matches on Raw and SmackDown, and then they just have another match, a pay-per-view. It's like, you need to make it a cage, you need to make it a table, or you need to do something.
They just need to put Raw back to 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, definitely.
They haven't got... The thing is, they got all these people, they've got Raw, which is 3 hours, and then they just fill it with absolute shit matches that are the same every single week, bar maybe 1 or 2 matches which are really good.
See,
and then they wonder why people complain,
I feel like I should probably watch SmackDown. I don't though, but because it's a smaller show, and there seems to be at least 4 or 5, 6 matches each SmackDown, and it's but the problem is you don't get any big matches. You just get randomly. You get like the WWF. Say Seth Rollins is feuding with Brock Lesnar, but then they'll be like, "Well, fuck it, you can fight Dolph Ziggler today." You know, it's a bit pony like that.
Yeah. It's more about just the wrestling, isn't it? In the sense of, he's going to wrestle him today. Enjoy that.
Which is a good reason why I should watch it, because I enjoy the wrestling a lot, and Raw, there's so much fucking talking, and there's so much shit. But I don't
mind the talking if it's good, but the problem is I skip through a lot of the talking now because it's shit.
Yeah.
They used to have really good sort of promos and that, But the problem is, Paul Heyman, for example, I like his promos, but they have him come out like 3-4 weeks in a row and talk for 25 minutes, and I'm just like, Same with Bray Wyatt. I actually skip his promos now because
me too.
Like he's probably one of the best people on the mic, but
he's kind of getting to the point now where he isn't giving a good reason why he's doing something. It was like you because of this and this and this, and now it's just like fucking.
It's like Goldberg. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're next. Why? Well, just because.
Well, okay. Naomi, Tamina, and Sasha Banks cut a promo. Blah blah blah. Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns defeated Big Show and Sheamus. Whatever. Blah blah blah. End of show. Right. Okay. So, Battleground. Right, I watched this, I was at Latitude on the weekend, and I came home Sunday night, so Monday morning I woke up, chucked it on the network and watched it about 9 o'clock in the morning. I have to say, I really enjoyed it. Tell a lie. I got home from Latitude about 1:30 in the morning, and obviously it was on, live. So I chucked it on. Yeah. I chucked it on, and I watched I watched, Randy Orton Sheamus, which was the first match, and I never watched their matches. Well, no, the thing is, I never watched their matches, but because it was live and I couldn't skip it, I watched it, and it was a good match. Probably because I've only watched it once. Because they've done a million matches and I skip them all, it was actually an alright match. But I think it was only an alright match for that reason, because otherwise I would have been bored and I would have seen every spot 10 times previously, you know what I mean? I thought that was a pretty good match. And then there was the next one was the tag match. I enjoyed the tag match. Kofi and I love. I'm not a big fan of the primetime players, but Titus is quite strong and he throws people about like shit. So does Big E, and they're entertaining matches. So I enjoyed that. That's all I watched live. After that was Roman Bray. That was surprisingly a good match. I think Bray made Roman look really good. And I like the fact that Roman didn't win again. Good. Well, it's good for Bray, because up to a point, Bray was losing every match and every feud, right?
Well, he lost to the big one, didn't he? What was the big one that he was in?
Undertaker.
Who?
Undertaker.
Oh, of course it was, yeah.
See, the thing, right. what was weird, right? After WrestleMania, he started picking on Ryback. Right, they had a feud. Bray Wyatt beat him clean at whatever pay-per-view it was, and that was it.
Yeah,
that was it. So that was around the Elimination Chamber time, because it was like all the shit was going on, and it was like, oh, Ryback's lost, Dolph Ziggler's lost. Everyone was losing, and then they're like, oh, we'll give him an Intercontinental title shot. Ryback won that. Sheamus lost. Dolph Ziggler lost. Oh, well, we'll give him a world title shot and the Money in the Bank. It's like, none of it was making sense a few months ago. Everyone was losing, but then they were getting title shots and Money in the Bank briefcase shots and stuff. But, like randomly, why was Kofi in the ladder match? Only because he probably would have done some springy shit and they thought, well, yeah, he'll be entertaining. But for what point, for what reason would you put Kofi or Adrian Neville in, really, in my opinion, they should be doing the whole number one contender. Well, then he's the number 2 contender, number 3 contender. The top, however many, should be in the ladder match. Not, we'll chuck Adrian Neville in there because he's fucking entertaining.
I know.
It's daft. But anyway,
you don't put those people in, and you've got a boring match.
No, you're right. I mean, there was a really boring one once. It was Cena, Chris Jericho, Big Show, maybe Randy, Miz and Rey Mysterio. I think that was one that Cena won. It was dog shit. It was a few years ago now. Yes. Right. So then Roman Bray, that was a good match. I was a little bit disappointed with the Divas match. Only this is at Battleground. Only because I wanted Becky Lynch to be in the match. You know they put. Yeah. But what I brought up earlier, what's happened to Nikki? Because what happened? They put Brie in the match instead of Nikki. Brie's having all. I reckon Nikki's got a slight injury and they're keeping her off for a little while. It would make sense because he keeps saying, actually, fuck it, Brie, you can fight, you know, or Alicia Fox, you can fight, you know. So I haven't actually got any notes on Battleground. I'm just going on memory now. So what happened after? So there was the Diva match. That was all right. I think Charlotte won. I'm
not going to remember. I've got a terrible memory.
There was no Intercontinental match. I think the Miz came out and Big Show punched him.
That's right.
What else was there? Oh, the Cena Owens match. Brilliant match, right? But they fucked themselves, in my opinion, because Cena does his AA. Everyone's kicking out of the AA now, right? So then he does an AA off the top rope, and usually people. I think Cesaro lost because he did an AA off the top rope once.
Yeah.
Right. So now Owens kicked out of that. So now basically Cena hasn't got a finishing move, really, is he?
Not that's effective. No.
So that's the kind of.
Other than the STF or whatever he calls it now.
The poorly executed STF, where you know, like when someone like Benoit or Bret Hart would do a submission, someone's body is all bent up. You can see it looks like it could hurt. They're literally laying on the floor, and he's not strangling them. Well, he's not pulling their head back. He's literally just got his hands around their face. It looks shit. So after all that, Owens taps out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I thought it was a great match. And to be honest, if they were going to have Cena win, I thought they could have done it a lot better than him tapping out. Like they could have.
Yeah, exactly.
They could have. I don't know. They could have like. He could have done like 4 AAs off the top rope or something. Right, really fucked him. And then if Kevin Owens didn't kick out of like 4 AAs off the top rope, you'd kind of be like, all right, fair enough. You know. Not the fact that he tapped.
At the same time, though, maybe they're trying to bring it back to the point where your finisher does work.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're trying to bring back. They're trying to integrate the realness, like the fact that submission would make you legitimately. Well, John Cena's wouldn't, but
that's right.
A submission would literally make you tap out. I mean, I was listening to a Stone Cold podcast with John Cena, and Stone Cold said you need to tighten up that submission because it looks shit. He literally said it to him, and John Cena was like, John Cena was like, didn't really agree with him, and he was like, you need to make it more snug because it don't look like it's hurting. You know, he was blatant with him, and it looks fucking shit. Anyway, I think after that there might have been another match, was there or not? I don't know. And then there was the Brock Lesnar Seth Rollins match, which I enjoyed. You know, Seth Rollins got some a little bit of offense in, and then Undertaker turned up, and I thought Undertaker looked a bit fucking wobbly, to be honest. But it was his first time back.
He looked really old. Yeah.
It was he looked better on Monday Night Raw, but when he was well, actually, what do you think? I thought Undertaker looked like the heel. He looked like the bad guy in that.
Yeah, they were talking about this. Yeah, I watched a video about this.
Well, I've since read about it, but at the time it was like put it in perspective, right? Seth Rollins is the bad guy, and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar is the good guy, in theory. Because Seth Rollins is the coward, and you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So then Undertaker turns up and kicks the supposed good guy in the bollocks. What does that look like? You know?
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway.
The video on What Culture posted a video basically talking about this exact subject, saying, even if they did try to make Undertaker a heel, people would never boo it.
No,
you know?
No, but what I do like to see, and we've seen recently, is heels versus heels. So Owens versus Rusev, you know?
Yeah.
And like...
at the same time, again, Owens is almost becoming like an anti-hero, you know?
Well, you know what I want... what I really want from Owens is nobody likes him. You know. Basically, they have a tag match. They basically put the good guys in one tag team, and the bad guys in another. Like always, if there's like they did with Ryback and Randy Orton versus Sheamus and Big Show, right?
Yeah.
Right. I would love it for Owens to just fucking hate everyone, and everyone hates him. So he just turns on the bad guys as well, because he just doesn't. I thought that would be a really good character thing, that he fucking doesn't like anyone.
Exactly what they did when he paired up with Rusev and
yeah, exactly, and Sheamus.
Who was the other one?
Sheamus.
Well,
yeah, Sheamus did it. Sheamus did it to him first, then he did it to Rusev. I think that would be a great quality for him to just not like anyone.
Yeah.
Like the bad guys are like, hold on, right? If we team up and beat up the good guys, and he's like, no, fuck you, you're shit and all sort of thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, so then
which is the way that they should act. It's not all goodies versus baddies. We're not watching bloody a 1960s Batman program.
Oh no, that's right. You're right. Okay, so then that was Battleground. I enjoyed Battleground. I think adding the Undertaker to it was the only way they could do it without Brock Lesnar winning. Basically, there was no way.
Right.
The only problem, I love what's been going on with Brock Lesnar because he's just been beating the shit out of people. But in the times that Brock Lesnar's not there and there's all these people going for the title, it just seems pointless, really. Because, right, if Dean Ambrose had won the ladder match at Money in the Bank and fought Brock Lesnar would have won. If anyone would have fought anyone, even, Cena, Mr. Super Cena, anyone fighting anyone gets the title in Brock Lesnar's absence. Brock Lesnar's going to come back and he's going to win. So, although it's brilliant, it's been really good to see, it's also been detrimental to the program because no one's going to beat him.
You're essentially saying all of our wrestlers are shit.
Yeah.
And this MMA guy is much better than all of you.
Exactly. I personally think Undertaker's going to beat him at SummerSlam.
In some way he will. Yeah.
Anyway, let's cut to the Raw that's just gone. Undertaker's promo. I kind of skipped it a bit because he was putting his voice on.
Oh no, I watched all of it. It was good actually.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Charlotte versus Brie Bella.
I listened to him any time though, because he's not going to drag on for ages, and he didn't. He was talking for about 5 minutes or something, Whereas somebody like bloody Bray Wyatt or whatever, or Heyman, they're good, but they just talk forever.
I think I didn't listen to it because I think I already knew what he was going to say. About how.
Oh my God! Sorry, I've just scored the greatest goal I've ever scored on FIFA. Oh my God!
Can you save the instant replay?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, upload it on the.
I'm online.
Oh, you're online, bollocks. I was about to say, if you can do that, put it on Google, because you can do that on some of the Call of Duty games, can't you?
I'll try with this share button. I don't know if this share button works or.
Yeah, give it a go. That'd be good. See if you can put it on Google Plus or anything. Right, okay.
It's just an absolute accident. I challenged somebody with Colaccini from inside my own half, and as I challenged him, the ball kind of lashed over the keeper and went in from beyond halfway.
Nice.
So this kid's now pissed off and pausing it.
Right, okay. So back to Raw once again. I think I've mentioned this about 4 or 5 times. Charlotte versus Brie Bella. Nikki must have an injury, surely. I think Charlotte won. Los Matadores versus the Primetime Players. The Matadors won. Miz versus Big Show. The Big Show literally beat him in a fucking matter of minutes, didn't he? Just squashed him.
Yeah.
Luke Harper versus Roman Reigns. Reigns wins because Bray Wyatt involves, and then fucking Ambrose gets in. I'm sure you've read. There's rumours that Sting's going to get involved, isn't there? Have you seen that?
Get involved with what? Sorry.
With the Wyatts versus Roman Reigns.
Oh, really?
But the problem is, I think this was a long-term plan. This is what I'm reading. But what's his name's injured? The other Wyatt dude.
Bo Dallas.
No. There's Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt.
Oh, Eric Rowan. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Because he's injured, it looks like it might be a 2-on-2 instead of a 3-on-2, and the third person would have been Sting, sort of thing. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. I mean, Sting would bring a name to SummerSlam, so it makes sense. But anyway, Rollins versus Cena. I did not like this because, like what we were discussing the other day, it's like Cena hasn't got a feud, Rollins hasn't got a feud, so let's put them together. I don't like it.
Yeah.
If that happens, then it makes sense because there's no one. But I mean, when Brock Lesnar had the title last year and he was off television, they must have had 10 matches, Seth Rollins and John Cena, for no reason. You know, they had like a table match. It was just pointless. Anyway, Paige and Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks and Naomi. Was that any good? I didn't watch it. It probably should have been with the. You what?
Yeah, it was okay. Again, I don't think I watched all of it. I don't know why I didn't watch all of it because I was looking forward to Becky Lynch fighting. I just don't think it was that good, the actual match.
Right. The main event,
which is a shame.
The main event, which is usually the match I never watch on Raw, is a 6-man tag, and I was like, oh fuck's sake! But then I looked who was in it. Cesaro, Rusev, and Owens were all in the main event, and I was like, this will be good, and it was fucking good. Did you watch it?
Yeah, it was. Because again, you're getting rid of all the shites like Randy Orton and Big Show and that.
Well, Randy Orton barely did anything in the match, did he? Which was good. He only at the end, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. You're bringing the newer people in, you know, and you're letting them show off what they can do rather than relying on people like Sheamus and Randy Orton and all them to carry a match. Sheamus is boring. So boring.
As we mentioned, it was good to see Sheamus fuck off and then Owens fuck off. That was good. And then did you see the slingshot RKO thing?
Yeah, that was great.
That was great. Yeah, that was really good.
The whole end to the match, the last 2-3 minutes of the match was really good, you know?
Yeah, it was great. Okay, right, so that was good. SmackDown, have you watched SmackDown, I take it?
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't, but I've got the results. Dean Ambrose kicked off SmackDown with a promo in-ring and was put in a match. Sheamus defeated Dean Ambrose. Bray Wyatt's entrance theme played and distracted. Blah, 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 blah. JoJo interviewed Neville in the back, and Stardust popped up on the screen behind him and started laughing. Any good? Just sounds a bit evil.
Really.
No, it just sounds a bit like evil villain sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm just sick of the Stardust thing, I really am. I wish they'd release Cody as Cody because he's actually a really good wrestler. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, what would they do with Cody though? They'd do fuck all with him.
US title, you know, something like that. Intercontinental title, probably get it away from John Cena, give it to somebody who, you know.
Yeah.
You need to have people like Neville and Cody going for titles.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Either bring back a cruiserweight title or have them go for. You know, you've got two big boring idiots like Ryback and Cena holding 2 titles. You know, and I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to give the big stars, you know, and make the titles mean something. But they'd mean more if you gave them to people that the fans actually give a shit about.
You know what they should have done? They should have done when Rusev or Cesaro had the US title. They should have brought back the European title. You know, like when Cesaro had the US belt and he was a bad guy, he should have said, "Fuck the USA, I'm bringing back the European title because you're all wankers," and everyone would have booed him, and it would have been really good. You know, then that would have been
it would have just been a bit of a gimmick though because there's no other Europeans in there really. Well, actually saying that, you've got a couple.
Yeah, no, you got Sheamus, you got Barrett, you got you did have Drew McIntyre.
Neville.
Yeah, Neville, exactly. You have got a few. No, I mean it could have been good to have an extra title, you know, like you said. Yeah. Right, okay, so Rusev defeated Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens walked out. What are you up to?
Hey?
What are you up to?
I've just gone in and got some food from the kitchen.
Oh, right. That was just loads of noise I could hear. Right, Cesaro cut a promo backstage and used the line, "Walk, Owens, walk." So I reckon they're going to have a match at SummerSlam or something. Owens, Cesaro.
Yeah, that was quite good, that was quite good. Them two working together is quite good.
Good. I imagine Rusev is going to hang about and Ziggler's going to come back and there'll be a match between them two. So that should be alright. Seth Rollins defeated Cesaro in the match of the night with a pedigree. Owens came out after the match and attacked Cesaro, hitting him with a pop-up powerbomb. There we go.
Yeah.
Apparently, after the cameras stopped rolling, Rollins came back in and had a brief stare down with Owens. So that maybe they're, planting seeds for the future.
I'd love it. I'd love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Seth Rollins, although he's been forced down our throats, I think Seth Rollins can have a good match with anyone,
Yeah.
And there's so many possibilities. But the problem is, he only seems to be fighting the same people. Ambrose, Cena, and like Ziggler. The only ones he seems to have matches with. But
that's right.
So, we'll end shortly, but if you can make a prediction about the SummerSlam card, what do you reckon it's going to be? You reckon like Owens versus Cesaro, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's a definite. Yeah.
Rusev Ziggler maybe?
Possibly. Yeah.
Because I imagine he'll come back and because the Lana thing's still going on, isn't it? Even though Ziggler's not there.
Yeah, although they're trying to turn Lana into she's gonna be their newest diva.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Which that could be good.
It could even be a tag match. It could be Ziggler and Lana versus Summer and Rusev in the agenda, couldn't it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
The Intercontinental match that didn't happen at Battleground will probably happen at SummerSlam. It'll be Ryback versus Big Show versus Miz, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. The tag match is probably going to be Prime Time against New Day again. There's not much else going on really that you can really. Well, obviously there's the Roman Bray with either Luke Harper and Ambrose or whatever, and then there's Undertaker Brock. But then just the title match, it could be, as I said, Rollins versus Cena, or I don't know. It's hard to predict.
Yeah, they might do. Yeah. The worst thing I don't think they'll ever do it, but the worst thing that they could do is title for title match with Seth Rollins and John Cena. They won't do that, but the old Hogan versus Warrior.
Yeah. And I'd hope fucking Rollins would win.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think they would do that. Like, the only reason they did that, obviously, was to give Warrior the world title.
Yeah.
And then he vacated the US or whatever it was.
Intercontinental. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Well, would you be up for doing something like... I've spoke to Mike about it, and he seemed semi-interested. Would you be interested in doing this again after SummerSlam?
Yeah.
Because I thought I could get Mike round here with me, and we could phone you, and we could talk about the same sort of things. Plus, I was going to add a few different things, like... First, I'd give you plenty of notice for you to think about this, but talk about your first wrestling memory, your favourite wrestler from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010, current day, those sort of things. Because, that'd be good to find out and stuff, and favourite match and this and that.
Yeah,
cool.
Definitely, yeah.
Alright, well, cheers for taking the time. We've been doing this for 52 minutes.
You what, sorry?
We've been doing this for 52 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for...
I'm just leaving to go to home base, and there's two bloody sort of army helicopters going above me.
Oh, bloody hell.
I think it's the air show or something. Yeah.
Oh, well, this is good timing then. We've just finished, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, well, cheers for doing that. I'll talk to you again probably on Monday or something, yeah?
Yeah, no worries. Alright, I'll speak to you soon.
Yep, see you later. Cheers.
Cool, see you in a bit. Ta-da.
Whew. So that was nearly an hour long episode. If you made it all the way through, well done. I didn't expect you to. You probably skipped through a bit, or even just didn't listen to it whatsoever. But I hope to do a few more episodes like that with Aaron, or even my friend. Oh, shut up. Tonight the headphones will deliver the words that I